Hi, today we will have a look at this pile of stuff. What do you think it is? I will open one bag for you. So, olive green bag, some pure non-vegan cow liver here with, look at this, secured by those plastic things, an electrical wire. It might actually be an antenna. So we have here the R147 Russian paratrooper radio. So I found a lot on a French classifieds website, and I paid 70 euros for the whole bunch. Not too bad, I guess. So we have, I have two complete radios and extra accessories. So the radio comes like this. There is the headset with speaker and microphone. Very not comfortable elastic strap to put around the head. This, I do not know what it is for, but really it is a pain, and you can hurt yourself on this. So maybe it is to clamp into, I guess maybe in a helmet or something like this. There is the radio itself with olive green box, very straightforward controls, and battery box. So the headset will connect here like such. So this model is a transceiver. There is also in existence the R147P, which is a receiver only. It is 1/3 less wide and use a smaller headset connector, because of course the headset will not have a microphone. And actually I have here two headsets for this model of radio, but I do not have this version. So let me grab the accessories here. So if you either you will use apparently the built-in antenna here in the strap that you will connect on the controller box here like this, or you can use this kind of flexible antenna, which is really painful. As you will see, it is a metal blade, very sharp, that will unfold dangerously. And it is really a weird design. Look at this. Well, quite strong, but you can hurt yourself with this. You can cut yourself, and it is really not easy to store in a, you must use sticky tape or something, because it will not remain stored correctly. So there is a thing here probably to secure it to clothing or something like this. And apparently here I am missing a piece of wire going to the same one. In fact, we have with the same plug we have here. On this one it is fitted, but not on every one. So it looks like it is an extra part which was not fitted on this particular antenna. Quite weird. So what else? Yes, the controller box. We have a function switch. Apparently you can select between voice and Morse tone, something like this. Serial number here. Clamp also to secure it to your clothing. The radio has power input from the black box in here. So just one control for the frequency. You have 4 channels you can select, and they are written here. So the power input, it is this weird thing, so it looks like a 9 volts battery contact. Actually it is a 9 volt power supply, but a regular 9 volt battery will not fit in here. Quite weird. So when the radio is new, it is provided with a blanking cover, so maybe you can use some kind of smaller battery that will remain completely inside the radio. Actually, I have here, still in the original bag, 2 more contacts like this and 2 caps for the radios, like such. And yes, the battery box is this black plastic box. We have here another accessory that I cannot identify, with 2 safety pins like this and 1 more bent piece, olive green on one side. So maybe it is to attach a sticker with frequencies or instructions, and you will secure it to your whatever cloth you are wearing on you. Maybe, I am not totally sure, it is quite an obscure piece. So the other bag contains exactly the same stuff. Here and here, what do I have else? So more antennas. I have 2 more controllers still new in the plastic bag. The only difference here is this one has a black plastic instead of olive green plastic. And I have 2 controllers for the receiver only version. You can see the connector here has only 4 pins, and the control box is much simpler. Same antenna plug. Quite a different finish here on the headset, you can see, with this hard shell. Same weird part here. And of course no microphone, as it is for the receiver only version. By the way, I really wonder why you will want to have your solders with receiving only information and not being able to give any information back. Quite weird. But it is a little bit lighter. It is the only thing I see. So, the battery box is made to accommodate 2 regular flat 4.5 volt batteries, which I do not have here. I do not have such batteries. I did not use them for a long time. There is this set of wires with very flimsy spring clips, you can see, so you will slide them over the battery contacts to make the contacts, and there is 1 wire provided here to put the 2 batteries in series. Some foam in the cover and the screw. So this plastic seems quite flimsy, and really, look at this, not impressive at all the finish on this battery box, in particular for these contacts. Well, they did use commonly available batteries. I believe in the field, maybe it is what you want, but quite not the best reliable thing, I guess. So I will try to power on the radio for you. I will not transmit, but just power it on and see what happens. If I can fit this connector. So these connectors also quite a weird choice, because they're quite well, they are strong, but the pins are not very strong, and usually they are space grade connectors. These ones, you find the same ones onto spaceships. and also onto East German radios like the one I shown lately. So previously, let's power this on. 9 volts approximately. So the plus here I am checking I am in the correct orientation, minus, and directly it is working. Okay, this, it seems this is doing nothing. Or maybe it is just transmitting, so I should need to power on the other radio, but I don't want to transmit. Okay, there is no volume adjustment on this thing. So if it is too loud for you, there is nothing you can do. And actually, the noise, background noise here is quite loud and there is no squelch also. Or maybe it is this position, I am not totally sure. Yes, maybe we have a squelch here. And 2 off positions, quite weird. Okay. It is what it is. So I will cut the power, unplug everything, and we will have a look inside, but spoiler, it will be pretty fast. Because they are collectible parts, I do not want to do any damage, and as you will see, they are not teardown friendly. But first we will have a look inside the box here. So the little box for the receiver version, I guess we will have the same parts in with less stuff. So just open this one. I need to find, excuse me, better screwdriver. This one. So it is quite weird to have plastic actually on these controllers. Wow. Usually they were, I have other radios where it was I guess maybe it is the other one I was able to open, because I did already open one of these things. Yes, let me grab the other one, it will be easier. Yes, here the screws are coming off. I will put this out of the way. Excuse me. Lot of stuff. So what do we have in here? Ah, one extra screw in the middle. Quality stamps everywhere. Okay, one quite nasty circuit board actually, with just blade switches like this. Contacts here, probably yes, to the rotary selector here. But it looks like it will be quite complicated to extract the other parts. Is it possible or not? There is wires and things, so I will not try any further. Yes, there is a round body switch in here. And a few other parts maybe, but really not a lot. Okay, I will put this back together and we will open the radio. So, what do we have inside the radio? Serial number here for you. The frequency label. 2 contacts, the connector. And just 2 screws at the bottom. Very regular Soviet slotted screws with ball head. You could find the same one on any customer equipment actually. But they did use them everywhere. I'm almost sure they are even into nuclear warheads. So, what do we have? Cover is just aluminium, pressed aluminium it seems. I do not see a weld in this, or maybe here in the corner. Yes, very well made actually, quite flimsy. And the electronics themselves, well, quite sad, but we will not go any further in the teardown because as you can see it is completely soldered together in those modules and there is nothing to see. It looks like the electronics pack is secured with screws down here. You can see them. The connector here directly and yes, at least I can see there is a circuit board down here with resistors and the switch for frequency selection, but apart from this everything is totally soldered together. Some fingerprints, not mine, and regular Russian wires, very well shielded by the way, a lot of adjustments you can access. A number here not matching the radio serial number, and other side is more or less the same. Okay, quite sad, but it happens with this little portable Russian radio. The R192 is the same thing. You cannot, or even the R126, you cannot really look at the insides because they are completely soldered together. There is a seal here around the edge and here also for the screws. So more or less watertight this thing, but not really impressive, in particular with only 2 screws at the back. Water could come in from the side here, I guess. So quite a flimsy thing. Extensive use of plastics on this typically Russian Amberton material. I do not know if it is really made from amber at the base or what, but you see it everywhere and it is a nice material actually. Does not decay, still some kind of bakelite apparently, but remains quite good. No change in color, no flimsiness, but well, it is what it is. Okay, so I have 2 of these radios and a bunch of other equipment. I now need to find the other version to accommodate those heat sinks. Heat sets, not heat sinks. By the way, I do not see any heatsink in this thing. Probably it is the middle plate here. Probably very low power actually. Less than 5 watts, I guess. Okay, so I will put this back together. I will inventory them. And they will go in my collection. I did already prepare the stickers with their inventory numbers. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.